All right, welcome to another episode from the chart readers, and I mean another doji the day before earnings makes complete sense to me. All right, this stock is all about tomorrow's earnings. All right, so I don't do it often, but we're gonna do a little bit of a view on some earnings history. So I'll just kind of go over that a little bit today, but. Listen, every single ticker, every single sector, I always say earnings is a crazy gamble, all right? And that will for sure be my echoing theme here, all right? CGC, so there is a vote that I was not aware of. Again, I love this two-way street of info, right? I give you technical thoughts, you give me fundamental thoughts, you give me better technical thoughts at times, right? Like I'm telling you, it's an amazing thing we're building here, all right? There is a vote for Canopy US on the 12th. I did my best to understand what that means, and I'll discuss that today, but I'm curious to see if anyone, interpreted it differently or better than I did, right? But that's going to be another thing we talk about. And then really what I saw across the sector was pretty much doji across the way, all right? I am seeing everyone waiting for I call Tilray the king of the sector, the queen for my ladies, right? And it's for a reason, and I do believe, and it's not like a fundamental reason. I have no idea what their numbers are compared to others, this, that, and that, right? But yeah, I think tomorrow is going to be a big day for the whole sector, let alone Tilray, all right? But before we go any further and I give you more of my thoughts and opinions, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe to this channel. That's my cat in the background right there. What are you doing? Jeez. If you can subscribe to this channel, if you can share this video, comment good or bad. I gotta let my cat out. What are you doing? What are you doing? Horrible timing. Horrible timing. Oh my goodness, sorry about that. But again, hey, I appreciate all the sharing, all the comments. This has been awesome, all right? So hopefully I'm helping you make some educated decisions. That's what we do here, right? So I've been practicing this. I hope it goes well, and I got to give credit to Michael Buffer, obviously, but let's get ready for earnings. I mean, it is the story of it. So fun fact, I like it when they do earnings before the bell. For me, I don't have any like data or any real like immediate stocks that come to mind, but in my head, I like it when you do it in the morning, all right? I give me your earnings, let live trading happen. Don't do it after hours. Don't know, right? Like drop it. Let's see how the market reacts. We should see very quickly, all right? There are some earnings. Look, I don't do fundamental stuff, right? And I do not hold, I am holding 0 shares of Tilray right now. Okay, I don't care how good technical indicators are. I don't care how good sector strength is. I don't hold through earnings, all right? And again, if the earnings are amazing, am I going to be sad that I missed the pop? No, because I'm not here for pump and dumps. I'm here for sustainable uptrends, or I just avoid the avalanche, all right? And yeah, I say certain things, and hey, sometimes I'm human, sometimes I think I'm above the rules, but knock on wood, I follow the rules and it does me well, right? But yeah, look, if earnings are good, I'll miss the pop, but I'll ride the lines up, right? And to me, I just don't know, all right? So what I would normally do is I would go to history, right? So I just did a simple Google search of Tilray earnings history. It brought me to this NASDAQ page, and we're looking at Tilray right now. Like you can see Tilray earnings, it's scheduled for this, it's scheduled before market. The analyst expectation is -4, okay? That's the expectation, all right? So I better see -3 or better. I want to beat, right? That's what we're looking for, all right? Taking a look at what's happened historically, all right? On the January 9th, all right, the earnings per share was 0. The consensus was actually a loss. So this did better, all right? what bothers me, and again, if you watch my videos before, one thing I've said is I sincerely believe earnings per share is the most important thing, all right? I am not an economist. I am not like a tax person that's looking at balance sheet. I am not a financial professional. I'm just a dude, right? Like, believe me when I say that, okay? I have come to learn that EPS, earnings per share, that's gold when it comes to earnings, all right? And what bothers me is they actually did 100% surprise. They crushed it. They crushed it. But we saw the massive drop come on the 9th, right? And then lo and behold, we keep going down more, right? So when I say earnings is a gamble and earnings is hard to guess what it's going to do, that is what I mean. Look, the earnings before that was a complete flip-flop. All right. Now, I like the fact that only 1 out of the 4 were bad, right? You can see the other ones. Again, another beautiful surprise right there. A decent surprise. And again, I literally said just beat it by a penny, right? Above when I said, hey, just do better by a penny, right? Give me -3 cents and we'll be happy. Because, yeah, a penny is about 20%. It's actually 25% if you're beating the 4-cent estimate, right? But, again, the thought in my head really was, it's crazy that this did well, but obviously you saw the candle did bad. I really don't like that they very wildly missed this one, but hey, you can argue that 3 good out of 4 is great. I would even use the word great, actually, right? So, EPS, earnings per share. It is what I have found. And look, from there, I'm sure there's other revenue forecasts and this and that. I didn't even look at any of that. This is the only thing I personally cared about. Again, am I saying that's the best way to do it? No, right? I'm just a dude giving you my opinions and thoughts, right? But listen, it's tomorrow. And again, people have asked me, hey, how good do you think it'll do if it does well? How bad do you think? I've actually been saying the exact same things, all right? My expectation really is if this does well, we're going to destroy the next resistance up. We're going to destroy 320, whether it's on a single day, whether it's on a couple days. If things are good, and I am skipping this one for a reason. Clearly, we still haven't confirmed 270. We had one good candle over it, but no confirmation by any means, right? But yeah, I'm skipping this and taking us all the way up to this next resistance up, all right? If we fail, I do believe we're actually going to even lose this 230 and probably make our way down to the 20, which is sitting a little closer to 213, 215. And hey, if we lose that, I think worse things might happen, right? But I'm expecting a drop down to the low 2s or a pop up to the mid to low 3s. That's essentially what I'm thinking, all right? And again, do I know the single line that's going to do it? No. Do I tend to see EPS be that single line that dictates it? Yeah. Have I seen great earnings bring bad candles, and have I seen the dumbest reverse split earnings bring really good green candles? I for sure have. And again, for me, I would rather avoid it, see what the market says, and attack accordingly. Either ride the wave or just avoid the avalanche, right? So I say that across any stock, I say that across any sector. And hey, if I was to do some sort of holding through earnings, I'm doing my homework. All right, and that's coming from a guy that's really lazy. If you read my comments and there are certain things I wish I did more, but I barely have time to do this. You know what I mean? But I do my homework. I see what the last couple were. I go back and I listen to the last earnings. I'm listening to the tones. I'm listening to, if they say good things, they better have that positive tone behind them, right? Like, you hear my voice when I say things. You can tell when I'm like really uncertain, or if I have that I expect the same from the executives. When they say good, you better not be iffy with your tone, right? And this and that, these and those, right? So that's all I got. Because again, tomorrow morning, we will, before the market bell rings, all the earnings are on the table. We'll see the headlines and all that, and we'll see what that market reaction is, all right? So listen, I know a lot of people think it's going to do well. I do, and I'm not here to argue that it is or isn't. I'm just here saying I know my limitations. I know what I'm too dumb to know, and I am too dumb to know what that earnings reaction is going to be. No colorful lines, resistances, indicators are going to do it, all right? So we're not looking at the weekly. We are only looking at earnings and earnings reaction. That is all that. None of these lines matter, because one more time, where was it? It was right here. Sorry to zoom in and out. We were crushing it. We were above all the moving average. We were holding and we were bouncing on the 200. We had a positive MACD. We had a very good RSI that went up, that reset, that went back up. Volume was picking up over, like, this was good. The earnings on the 9th killed it. This is better. The earnings will either take us down here or it'll for sure take us up there. It is one of the two. It will not stay horizontal. All right. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions. Oh, I appreciate you all so much. Let me close that out and come into CGC. So interesting day today, actually, on CGC. I saw it do the nice run up. It actually almost looked like we were going to do better than that Wednesday day, but clearly we close on a red day, but that's not a bad red day. And I'm actually seeing a doji is kind of going to be the thoughts. But really quickly, please, if you can subscribe to the channel, if you can share this video, it does wonders for the algorithms here. All right. So before we get into the technicals, there was a comment. And look, I learned so much from you all, I swear, right? Like, I am not here pretending to be the best one by even a long shot, all right? I had no idea that there was a vote coming up, so my focus had been the Tilray earnings. There's a vote coming up for Canopy USA, okay? And as far as everything I read, I don't think that it's a very significant vote, all right? I don't think that it's a very bullish thing. I don't think that it's a very bearish thing. I think it's a relatively neutral thing. Now, there's a chance that, hey, maybe it gets interpreted interestingly, right? Like, maybe someone thinks to themselves, oh, maybe Canopy is doing this because they think US is getting ready, and that kind of rolls into this beautiful little rumor that I love, right? Like, throw it all in the rumor pot and stir it, right? Buy the rumor. Rumors are good, okay? And maybe there'll be a little bit of that, but look, I'm really not reading anything like spectacular. Based on everything I've read, I'm assuming that the vote's going to be yes, right? Like, I think if the vote's a no, I think that would be very interesting. And I don't even know if they'd give us a reason why, right? But I think the expectation is yes. I don't think it hinders CGC in any way, shape, or form. I don't think it's a bad thing for this actual 3 letters that we're looking at right here. And again, I think maybe there's a shot that it, like, hitches to some sort of rumor and maybe actually does a little bit well. If you disagree with any of that, if you saw it any differently, please throw it in the comments, all right? Again, the vote is the 12th. When's the 12th? Is that Friday? Yeah, the vote's on Friday, okay? So just FYI there. Again, Canopy USA is basically what I Googled and started reading a couple articles, all right? Let's get into the technicals here and look, I say this often. I say this about every sector. This has nothing to do with weed specifically or this stock specifically, all right? I don't care if you've got 100% of your money on a single ticker, all right? You really need to look at the auxiliaries of that stock. You need to look at other stocks in that sector. You need to look at the major markets. You need to look at a bunch of different stuff, all right? I believe Tilray's earnings tomorrow morning before the bell rings really is dictating what's going to happen with the sector next, all right? We've had a real good push from a lot of really arbitrary comments and rumors. There was a very real legalization in the number 3 economy in the world with Germany, and there's some like imports and exports and big dollar revenues, but all that's actually rumor still. Day 1 doesn't do anything to the financials, right? Today's day 8. No one has made a killing in 8 days, right? You need 3 months. You need 2 quarters. You need 6 months, right? So that you can actually project out to next year so that companies can decide decide how much they want to invest and reinvest, right? Like there are some longer term financial and you know, there's a bunch of data that's still missing, right? But there's a lot of rumors, and I think the first non-rumor moment, and I am saying that inclusive of Germany, I think the first real non-rumor moment since Kamala Harris on the 15th made her comments is Tilray's earnings. And I do think that's going to have a ripple effect across everyone, US companies, especially Canadian companies, all right? So I see today as a doji. There is no wick down. I realize that. You know, I don't see these candles often, all right? So you'll very often see filled in reds. An outline red is actually good because look in the box over there. We opened down here at 960, 970, and hey, we actually closed at 1013. Now, clearly, this was just under the close of Friday's 1018, so yeah, of course it's going to be red, but some people made some money today, and I'm not going to pretend I know that math in my head right there, but today was a good bad day. Today, there was an opportunity, and actually a decent opportunity, to take this thing from 970 all the way up to 10 and change. That ain't too shabby, right? So I don't see a bad red candle by any means. I actually see a good red candle. And really more than anything, I see a doji. I see a stock that's waiting. Look, I love that we're over the 8 moving average. I love that we're still over the resistance, right? Like those are obviously good things, right? But to me, I am seeing a waiting for Tilray earnings. And hey, maybe bad Tilray earnings brings attention here, and maybe you can ride some CGC on up while Tilray goes down. Maybe it doesn't do that pulling ripple. Maybe, right? Like I actually think that last one didn't, if I'm not mistaken. I think CGC, well, you can kind of say it went down. It actually held pretty well for a long time, right? Because on the 9th, the other ones went down. This one kind of held, right? But yeah, to me, Tilray does well. CGC will do well. Let me know what you think about the Canopy US news and stuff. I don't think we need to look at the weekly. I think tomorrow is going to be very, very indicative based on Tilray earnings. All right, so let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions, even if you disagree. Let's take a look at SNDL real quick. Again, another doji. Let me see if MSOS looks any other way. Again, another doji, right? So any one of these I look at, really, it's the same comment, right? So I almost don't even want to talk about these. No offense, right? It's not that I'm trying to ignore them, but again, we're waiting. We're waiting to see what I consider the king of the charts, the queen of the charts to do, right? And we all go up or we all go down with the executive team with companies, and we kind of do the same thing, in my opinion, with the leaders of the sectors, all right? So high tide was a little bit of an interesting one because, yeah, I do see a bigger candle here, all right? I do see that, okay? And yeah, I do, you know, it would have been nice, like, I am still seeing good volume. I am, and you know, it's. I guess I would have liked Monday to do a little bit better than Friday. Don't get me wrong, because I always call Friday a loser day, right? But I still think that this one's okay, and we're still just waiting for Tilray. Okay, so yeah. Excuse me. I really have nothing else to say. I don't want to like waste any more like minutes on repeating myself, right? But what Tilray does, I think the rest will do, or we'll see a drastic difference if that does poorly, and hopefully the others do well because the others become the safe haven of the strong sector. But I'm kind of assuming that they're all going to move together, all right? So let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions, even if you disagree. Hey, I appreciate you so much.